was a quiet autumn evening. The sun had already set, and the sky was painted with soft shades of orange, pink, and purple. The air was cool but not cold. I opened the door of my apartment and stepped inside. The familiar smell of home greeted me immediately. I had been outside all day, and my body was slightly tired. The city sounds were distant, softened by the walls of my apartment. I took off my coat and hung it on the hanger near the door. Then I walked slowly into the kitchen. I wanted something warm and comforting. I decided to make a cup of tea. I took my favorite teapot and filled it with water. While the water was heating, I selected a tea bag of my favorite flavor, a rich, aromatic black tea with hints of cinnamon. The small kitchen smelled clean and cozy. I could hear the water beginning to boil. Steam rose from the kettle, carrying a soft, warm scent. I poured the boiling water into my teapot and let the tea steep. The smell of cinnamon mixed with the strong aroma of black tea filled the kitchen. I breathed in deeply and felt calm immediately. While waiting, I looked out of the window. The city was quiet in the evening light. The street lights had already turned on, casting a soft glow on the wet pavement. The trees along the street had almost all their leaves, but some had already fallen, creating a colorful carpet on the ground. Yellow, red, and brown leaves covered the sidewalks. A few people walked slowly, holding umbrellas, enjoying the gentle evening rain. Others were returning home from work, carrying bags or talking quietly on their phones. The city seemed alive but calm, a perfect mix of movement and quiet. The tea was ready. I poured it into my favorite cup, a large mug with a soft blue color. I held it in my hands and felt the warmth spread through my fingers. The aroma of tea and cinnamon was wonderful. I could feel the stress of the day slowly leaving my body. The hot cup in my hands was comforting. I took a small sip. The flavor was rich and soft. It was exactly what I needed. I decided to take my tea to the balcony to enjoy the evening more fully. I opened the balcony door and stepped outside. The air was cooler here, but it was refreshing. The city lights reflected on the wet pavement, making the streets look magical. I placed my cup on the small table and took a deep breath. The sound of leaves rustling in the gentle wind mixed with distant car sounds. The autumn evening was quiet and peaceful. I could see people walking slowly along the street, some talking, some enjoying the calm moment before returning home. Sitting on the balcony, I looked at the trees in front of me. Their leaves were bright and colorful in the soft city lights. Some leaves moved slightly with the wind. I watched a small bird jump from one branch to another, looking for food before the night. The sight made me smile. Life outside continued even in the quiet evening. The mixture of city life and natural beauty was calming. I felt a sense of harmony. The street below was alive in a gentle way. A few cars passed slowly, their lights reflecting on the wet asphalt. A couple walked hand in hand, enjoying the cool air and the quiet moment together. I could hear soft laughter from somewhere nearby. Even small details like the movement of leaves or the smell of wet ground made the evening feel special. I drank another sip of tea and felt relaxed. It was a simple pleasure, but one that brought happiness. As I sat there, I thought about the beauty of autumn. The leaves, the colors, the cool air, and the soft evening light created a feeling of peace. Even though the city was not completely empty, it felt calm and safe. I felt connected to the life around me. Watching people, listening to the sounds, and noticing the small details gave me a sense of comfort. The evening seemed to slow down, letting me enjoy each moment fully. I moved slightly in my chair and looked up at the sky. The clouds were light and moving slowly. Stars began to appear in the darkening sky. The moon, a small silver crescent, shone softly. It added a gentle glow to the streets and rooftops. I felt that everything was in balance. Nature, the city, and my own life. I had time to pause and reflect. This moment was perfect. I watched a small tree near the street. Its branches were covered with bright orange and red leaves. Some leaves were falling slowly to the ground.
A few children ran past, kicking the leaves and laughing. Their joy was simple but infectious. I smiled again. It reminded me how important it is to notice small moments of happiness. Even a quiet evening at home can feel like a celebration of life, if you pay attention. I finished my tea slowly. The warmth of the cup and the aroma of cinnamon made me feel cozy. I placed the cup on the table and leaned back, enjoying the cool autumn air on my face. The combination of warm tea and cool air was perfect. I could hear the distant hum of the city, the soft sounds of the wind, and the occasional laughter or voice from the street. Everything created a peaceful atmosphere. I thought about how life is made of small moments like this. The simple pleasure of tea, the beauty of autumn, and the calm evening around me felt precious. I realized that even ordinary evenings can become special if you take the time to enjoy them. The streetlights, the trees, the people, and the sounds of the city created a perfect scene for reflection and relaxation. The sky grew darker. The city lights looked brighter against the dark blue background. I noticed the reflections of the lights and puddles from earlier rain. They shimmered like tiny stars on the ground. The sight was magical. I felt lucky to witness it. Even small moments like watching puddles, leaves, and streetlights can be beautiful. I took another deep breath and felt fully present in the moment. As the evening continued, I watched people returning home. Some were smiling, talking quietly, or walking quickly. Others paused for a moment under streetlights or near trees, enjoying the autumn evening. The world seemed simple and natural. It reminded me of the small pleasures of everyday life, the beauty of nature, the comfort of home, and the peace that comes from observing the world around you. I stayed on the balcony for a long time. The city seemed calm, yet full of life. Every small detail, haze falling, the smell of light earth, a movement of people created a perfect atmosphere. I felt a deep sense of gratitude. The world around me was alive and beautiful. Even the smallest things, like the sound of wind or the light on the pavement, were in love to bring joy. Eventually I decided to go inside and dunk one last smoothie the street below. The lights, trees, and people all seemed calm and happy in their own way. I closed the balcony door slowly. The warm air inside my apartment welcomed me. It felt relaxed and satisfying. The simple act of making tea and sitting on the balcony had created the perfect moment in the day. I thought about how important it is to pause and enjoy simple pleasures. Autumn evenings, tea, and watching life outside may seem ordinary. I think it made me feel alive and happy. It reminded me that peace and happiness can be found in everyday moments if you take the time to notice it. It put away my empty cup and sat quietly for a few moments. I could still hear the soft city sounds and the wind moving through the trees. I felt connected to the world and at peace with myself. Life was simple, yet beautiful. The autumn evening it brought me calm, comfort, and a sense of joy. Finally on the table for the rest of the evening, I felt grateful for the small, perfect moments I had just experienced. The warm tea, the cool air of the street, and the sounds of life around me made the evening special. I realized that happiness is often found